I don't even have an intro. My intro, I just want to play the old sitcom where it's like, so WandaVision had its epic season finale, and we want to break down and talk about the entire series right here on the Entertainment Jungle. So I have Walter, Ryan the Lion, number 66, and myself, Cornelius, and I'm going to jump right into it. Let's get some overall thoughts on the entire series. We'll start with Walter. What do you got?
Loved it. Really was questioning it in the beginning, the first couple episodes, but after that it picked up, and it's one of those shows where I had to watch it that day, Friday, once it released.
And that's why I asked you first, because I know you were a skeptic in the beginning, but this one turned you around, I think.
It definitely did.
All right, 66, quick overall thoughts on it. WandaVision?
I thought it was really good, but not great.
That was quick overall. Got it. All right. Ryan the Lion?
I liked this series a lot. I loved as they were going through the decades of TV shows. That was a ton of fun for me because I remember watching TV shows through all those decades, and they nailed it, which was just delightful. But yeah, overall, I liked it a lot.
I love this show. I'm on the same page as Walter. I had to watch it on Friday before I went anywhere on social media. And I am a huge sitcom fan. And pretty much the whole beginning of this was just making nods to all the sitcoms that I liked. And then they threw the Marvel twist, which was like, yes, please, great, keep it coming. Every twist, I was like, thanks, what else you got? Just keep it coming. I was ready to go. I will say some people weren't as happy with the finale. And so let's talk about that. Obviously, everyone's seen it, so we're going to spoil it like crazy. But what did you think of the explanation of Pedro? And did you like that there was no huge cameo like Doctor Strange or anything? Because I heard that was going around that bothered people. It didn't bother me, but...
It didn't bother me. I thought it was perfect. Because I really don't like hearing all these, fan theories, and then people think that that's gospel, and that's what's going to happen. John Krasinski's going to show up. It's going to be Fantastic Four. Honestly, I would have loved that. But... I actually like it that they didn't do that. I like it better because that still leaves it open for something else later down the road, and nothing's set in stone because you don't know where they're really going. They know, but we don't.
I know, and you just like seeing all those fans being proved wrong with their theory. Screw you guys and what you thought was going to happen.
You're wrong.
Yeah, I think I'm on a similar page as Walter where I didn't need some big thing that's going to introduce the multiverse or Fantastic Four or anything like that. I know a lot of people thought they were going to get that and were really excited for it. But to me, I always thought this was going to be a show about Wanda grieving, basically.
Yeah.
And I thought that they did a really nice job with that story.
Yeah, I wasn't too upset I agree with you guys. I wasn't upset that there weren't any cameos. Like, of course, it would have been really nice to see Mr. Fantastic, which I heard all along was going to happen, and to see John Krasinski come in would have been like, all right, sweet. Like, but the whole multiverse thing is coming. I rewatched Doctor Strange, and there's so many hints in there from the book to talking about the multiverse, and it's just really interesting where they're going. So I think that like the lack of cameos did not ruin that. That wasn't the reason it wasn't great for me, but it was still really good.
Well, I have a follow-up question, but I guess we should ask, why wasn't it great for you? It was great for us.
I don't know. I felt like I left off a little disappointed. Wanda never really reunites with the new Vision at the end, and I thought it was really great the way they incorporated Vision's memories from Wanda, which was a part of her soul stone energy transferred into that artificial being, into the actual Vision that was reformed from his own genetic, whatever
he is.
Right, whatever he is. I mean, he's basically reformed now.
Yeah.
And he has the memories of Vision from the past. So he's okay, Vision's back. Great, I love it. I don't know, I don't know if I can explain why. I just felt a little disappointed at the end. Like I don't know. I can't explain it.
Now there's two questions. My next two questions, you actually touched on both of them. So my first one was very specific, which was, where is the white Vision, and is that really Vision?
I think the white Vision just kind of went off to find himself, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, because, after that philosophical conversation he had with the other Vision, he was just kind of like, wow, all right. And then he just left. I'm like, oh, so he's just going off to think.
Yeah, he didn't even
he's got some soul searching to do.
Wasn't that an awesome, though, conversation between them?
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Right? Just...
Yes. I thought that was the best part of the last episode, honestly, was the conversation between them and having Wanda actually become the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of TV shows that end with a big battle scene like Umbrella Academy, and they're just, for me, disappointing. I know the whole time you just see the sky, and then at times now at the end you see the red dome from the inside, and then it's the sky, and then it's the red dome, and I'm like, I was like, okay, the dome's gone, but Vision's still alive, and then I'm like, oh no, there's the dome. I don't know. It was just it took me out of it because I had to think about it like that. It took me out of it.
Yeah, she was trying to open it up and free everyone, but then
Yes.
she kept not finishing. It seemed like they wanted this to be like kind of a siloed show. Like everyone thought this was going to be like a part that expanded everything, but it looked like the way things wrapped up, like where, Pietro ended up not being an introduction to X-Men at all. Agatha just wound up getting trapped and stuck, not even able to do magic. Everything that they could have opened a door to, they're like, no, this is just a siloed story that's over now.
That's what Walter touched on. I bet you they've read all the comments. They're like, oh, you think this is this character? Nope.
But it's a fantastic way to intro and to say, you know what? Now, with all of these quote-unquote multiverses that whoever, Wanda or Doctor Strange or whatever, can basically pull people in and out of, it's a great way to say, you know what? We can take this X-Men character. We can take this person that was recast. It's perfect. You can bring people back and they can do whatever the heck they want now.
I think that was what they were doing. They're like, look what we can do.
Everyone else had these fan theories, and I said from the beginning, all this is about is getting Vision back, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
Nothing else. They set up a little bit here for her to the Bad Witch to come back later. They did a little bit of showing the progression of Scarlet Witch. But the main reason, honestly, is to bring Vision back. Because if he came back later, you're going to be like, whoa, what happened? Why is he even here? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Now we know.
I was thinking when they had their cool conversation, they were going to, merge.
Yes.
I thought they were going to merge
I thought that
and
too.
then
I
be
thought
the
too.
real Vision. That's what I was like, oh, this could
I
happen.
also thought that.
Well, at this point, he kind of is. He transferred all of his memories, and if you have the body structure that was existing before and all of his memories that existed before, and you just put them together, you're just missing the Soul Stone, which they tried to
I was
pull
gonna
out
say, it seems
anyway.
like the only thing that's missing is Wanda, who could potentially give him what the Soul Stone did.
That's what I was going to say. I liked how they connected her to the Soul Stone.
Exactly. Yeah,
Because that's
she's
where her
like,
powers
because
came
part
from.
of that is a part of me.
Yeah, which I thought was cool. I thought that was cool. The episode before the last one where they were explaining everything.
Okay, I knew it. You guys keep saying Soul Stone. I'm like, he
It's the
didn't
Mind
have
Stone.
Soul
It's
Oh,
the
Mind
Mind
Stone.
Stone.
Sorry.
I'm like,
yeah.
what the... Oh,
Sorry,
you
it was in
confused me.
Loki's Scepter, Mind Stone.
Mind
Yeah,
Stone.
you're right.
Mind Stone.
Yeah, Soul Stone was...
I had to look that up, sorry.
Sorry.
I'll just cut in all of us saying Soul Stone over us saying Mind Stone.
No, you're going to be wrong.
Or I'll be wrong. It's okay. So this is the last day. So let's talk about the post-credit scenes real fast and the upcoming MCU projects. Obviously, 90% of the fan theories were disproven, essentially, but where are they taking this? Are her kids still alive in another dimension? I know Elizabeth Olsen is actually credited in Doctor Strange 2, so she will appear. What are your theories that will be disproven when someone hears them for the upcoming MCU stuff based on the post-credit scenes?
One thing I'm very interested to see is Wanda still going to be a hero in the MCU? Because I could see her becoming a villain at this point, at least in some part, because that's essentially what she is right now. She tortured a town full of people for a while.
You're right, and I thought she was going to turn to the villain, but then I was like, is Marvel going to do... that's what happens in the comics. She's a villain for a while.
Yeah.
But you're right. I don't know. That'd be an interesting turn.
I think that is interesting, and they could go that route if she's that into finding her kids. Her versus Doctor Strange could be really interesting. But I think that it's going to be more along the lines of her being hated like the Hulk by the public and her having to gain their trust back. Because... she did this terrible thing, and at the end, she basically opened up, not the post-credit scene, but the end of the actual, episode. She realizes that, and I think she has a bit of remorse for it.
I think it's still going to be tough for her because, the Hulk, even though the Avengers have a use for the Hulk, they still view him as a monster. And I feel like it's going to be tough for Wanda if she's, like, even though she may be useful, if she's viewed as a monster, that could drive her even to a darker place.
Yeah, I think I disagree just because, you know, they already did that arc of her being the villain.
Oh, yeah.
That's how she was introduced.
Yeah.
So they're going to backtrack and bring it back. And I feel like, yeah, people will see her as a villain, but not the other heroes. Because we've already seen that line. They'll never know what you sacrificed in order to set them free. I mean, yes, you kind of started it, but like you still made the better decision in the end. So I feel like the heroes will still see her as a hero, not necessarily a villain.
And I did like how they explained that. She did it by accident, and then she was just like, oh, this is cool, I don't want to stop it. Not like she did it on purpose.
Yeah.
That's a different mentality, I think.
Yeah, and they really are setting it up with, like you said, the, you know, Wanda at the end, or Scarlet Witch, is basically doing the Doctor Strange thing where she's reading while she's doing something else, like sleeping or cooking or whatever, and reading the book from, you know, Kamar-Taj or whatever it's called,
Correct.
wherever those books are. So, like, that's a good connection, and I think you're right. Is her name Monica? She got her powers from walking through Wanda's thing, right?
Yeah, it like rewrote her DNA, and then it gave her powers after so many times.
That's going to stand, we assume, because
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff when the dome went down disappeared, but she's still now, because it rewrote her DNA, right?
Which is weird.
Maybe
but yeah.
that's why she was so accepting of everything. She's like, you know what? I'm cool now. I'm going to be a hero,
Yeah.
so thanks. You know what? You're good. I don't
She's
care
like,
what
I
these
got
people say."
superpowers out of this. I'm not even mad. Like, you did great.
But it was cool the way they talked about Nick Fury and didn't mention his name, like your uncle or something, I think she said.
Haters be damned. I don't care that your fan theory was disproved. This was a beloved show. It was a very popular show and a very talked about show. And the ratings reflect that. IMDb on average gave the whole series an 8.2 out of 10. The critics on Rotten Tomatoes a 91%. And you know what kind of stuff they lean towards. And the audience gave it an 81%. We are all liked it, but didn't love it. But let's give our banana rating out of 10 and let's see how close we are. We'll start with 66.
Overall, yeah, I really did like it. I thought they did a good job. Some parts took me out. It was really interesting. Love that they brought Vision back. I'm going to go, I don't know, probably, we'll go 8 bananas.
Wow, still pretty
That's
high.
actually what I was
Oh,
guessing.
wow. Jeez.
I said really good.
I mean, that's a good score. That's a pretty ripe banana.
Yeah, that's a high score.
All right, Ryan the Lion.
Yeah, I really liked it. I thought that the story was good. I liked the acting. There was certainly less action than I think people might expect from something that's part of the MCU, but overall, I really liked it, and I'll give it 7.5 bananas.
Definitely thought that was going to be reversed between you two.
I didn't realize he was going to go so high. I mean, 7.5 is a good score, I think.
7.5 is a good score.
Yeah.
Let's continue what we got. Walter, what's your rating?
I love this, despite the beginning and where I thought I was going to hate it. I would give it a 10. However, I'm not a big fan of the actress who played Agatha. I know a lot of people are saying that she did great. For me, I couldn't really take her serious as a villain. Like the nosy neighbor, definitely. But the moment she became the big bad, I was like, you're more comical than serious. I don't really like that, so I'm going to give it a 9.5.
It's still really good. I think that I see what you're saying, but I mean, if you're around for thousands of years or hundreds of years, at some point, it's all just a joke.
That's true.
I like that. All right, I'll finish this one up. I loved it. I mean, I was clamoring for more every episode, so I love sitcoms. I love Marvel. I thought the acting was great. It pretty much gave me everything that I was kind of hoping for and more in a series. So if you follow me, my ratings are always in the middle, but this one's not. I'm at 9 bananas out of 10. You know, there were some issues here and there, but nothing to really complain about. I ain't gonna go right in a rant online. I'll tell you that right now. It's all positive.
Quack you next time.
I'll probably cut this in at the end. Does Elizabeth Olsen deserve an Emmy nomination? Because I thought she was fantastic at this.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Get on board
Everything
with
except
that.
for her screaming. Every time she was like screaming, I was like,
I thought you were going to say every time she went in and out of her accent, which is the big joke of her character. But anyway.
I thought it was that was one of the best parts, the joke of her accent.
She dropped that accent, like, in the very second movie she was in, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
think
feel like
so.
it was she just had it in the first movie, Age of Ultron, and then immediately after they were like, "Don't do that."
I just rewatched that, and it was funny to hear that accent and her like come out of it every like third word. Yeah,
WandaVision. Like Wanda. I don't know. I can't even do it.